The wind is the only consistent sound across this stretch of the Great Plains. It moves through a town with a population so small it challenges our understanding of what a city actually is. This is Emmons County, North Dakota. Within its borders sits the municipality of Braddock. According to the 2024 census, exactly 13 people live here. The demographics for these 13 residents are extreme. The median age is over 70, nearly double the national average. Currently, there is not a single resident in Braddock under the age of 40. Every single resident owns their home. At the same time, the local poverty rate sits at 0%. Over half of the population holds a bachelor's degree, and nearly 40% are military veterans. These metrics describe a statistical anomaly. On paper, this isolated municipality resembles an exclusive, highly educated retirement community. Braddock is a legally incorporated city. Its physical reality consists of weathered buildings, dirt roads, and the vast, open horizon of North Dakota. We are looking at a municipality that has reached a demographic extreme, a place with no children, no poverty, and a population that can be counted on two hands. The explanation for these numbers is found by looking past the 13 people who remain today and toward the hundreds who left. Homesteaders first arrived in 1884, but the community's real growth was triggered in 1898 when the Sioux Line Railroad extended its tracks through this section of Section 27. Early planners designed a permanent hub of commerce. The pen and ink sketches of the era show a dense grid of buildings stretching toward the horizon. Large multi-story structures like the Emmons County State Bank and L.M. Dorschlag's department store provided the economic anchor for the region. This was a micro-metropolis. At its peak, the town supported a local newspaper, multiple doctors, and a main street filled with early automobiles and commerce. By 1920, the population reached 216 residents. Braddock had successfully established itself as a self-sustaining center of American life. Residents relied on a localized resilience they called the Braddock spirit. This collective grit helped the town endure the Great Depression and the devastating dust storms and blizzards of the plains. That resilience was celebrated in 1984 during the town's centennial. Families returned for a massive 3-day event featuring parades and community plays to mark 100 years of survival. The White House sent a formal letter of congratulations, signed by President Ronald Reagan, recognizing Braddock as an example of American enterprise and optimism. The 1984 celebration occurred just as the underlying economic reality was becoming undeniable. The forces dismantling the town were already well underway. Mid-20th century modernization changed the scale of agriculture. As family farms consolidated and mechanized, the labor requirements for the surrounding land plummeted. This shift created a sustained youth outmigration. Without local jobs, younger generations were economically forced to leave for urban centers to find work. The population began a steady, measurable decline. By the 1980s, the count had dropped from its peak down to just 86 people. The town did not suffer a sudden collapse. Instead, it slowly and quietly bled its younger population into the broader American economy over several decades. Returning to the 2024 data, we can see the direct results of that history. A median age of 70 is the mathematical outcome of decades of youth outmigration, leaving the elder generation to remain in place. The statistics for 100% homeownership and zero poverty reflect the stability of the few residents who stayed. Census records show that the majority of these residents have lived in these same houses for over 30 years. The census also counts 5 veterans and 7 residents with college degrees among the 13. This shows a high density of specialized experience within such a small group. This extreme data is the mathematical footprint of a community reaching the final stage of its natural life cycle. A shrinking rural town is often viewed through the lens of failure. However, Braddock completed the historical tasks it was built for. It settled the frontier, produced agriculture to feed the country, and educated children for the future. The 13 remaining residents are the final caretakers of that historical legacy. They are the inheritors of the Braddock spirit. Braddock finished its work. These 13 people remain as a quiet, living monument to the rural pioneers who stand watch over the streets of time.